client of mine was not converting on his annual offer. He changed the price just barely, and within 48 hours, 3 people bought. Here's how we did it. First, I'd like to highlight $77 per month and $800 per year. This was their offer. They're filling up people on this monthly offer. The goal is to push the annual offer more than they are currently. I want to say inherently and on paper, there's nothing wrong with their offer. There's nothing really wrong with these numbers, but only one person, maybe even 0 a week, are buying the annual offer. Why is that? Why isn't it appealing enough for more people to buy? Again, in my mind, immediately when I looked at this offer and looked at the page that we have with the plans, I could see that the offer that they have here was great. There's nothing wrong with this. What they're doing is fantastic. People are still buying this, just not very frequently. But this, the number flagged me immediately. Why 800? I asked my client, and he didn't have an answer for me. I said, I feel like 77 is a beautiful number. I love that number for a monthly offer. Why wouldn't you make this 777? And he stopped and thought and didn't have an answer. And he was punching in 777 to change the offer as we were speaking about it. I think oftentimes people make the mistake thinking that charm pricing is only something that you can do with 2 digits or below. Whereas this proves what we did here in changing this to 777 per year. 3 people bought in the span of only 48 hours after changing that price. What is it? It's aligned. It feels intentional, well thought out. 800 is arbitrary. Why 800? He actually didn't have an answer himself. Whereas now, I feel like 777 even is lucky. It makes me feel lucky buying this. What it does for the viewer is it feels like it's a deliberate number. It feels like this price that I'm paying is now intentional. Whereas when it is so round, that intention feels lost. It feels significantly more arbitrary than it is when you have a number that's more detailed and deliberate like this. The other thing that I want to point further is that it's not just charm pricing. And there's a reason why I didn't pick 797, right? The idea that we already have 77 per month as the offer here, and just aligning it further with the offer as the annual. When I said to my client that it made me feel lucky looking at 777, he actually chuckled a bit, appreciated the thought, and changed it immediately. So I think there is a massive benefit both to the alignment of the price, as well as the price being something that is deliberate and not just a round number or one that is 1 cent or $1 underneath a round number. Having it be deliberate and well thought out, I think people really do appreciate as a viewer before they pay. One final point that I want to make with this too is seeing an intentional price like 777 over 800 builds trust. It makes me feel like this was well thought out and I'm paying for something that is well thought out, as opposed to just some round number where I'm just giving these guys some money. It's been thought about, and that I think people appreciate, build that trust, and they want to pay more for that thing because of that. Within the last month, he had 3 people pay for the annual offer. So 1 week he had nobody buy, and 3 weeks he had 1 person buy. And then 48 hours after making the change from this price, 3 more people bought, meaning he made in the last 48 hours what he made in the last month from this same offer. The idea I want to make here, the point that I think is most important, none of the offer changed here. It was only a small tweak in the number he charged for the price that ended up seeing him a 3x in 48 hours. Also, test the alignment of your numbers between tiers. Do they feel intentional and thought out from one to the next? Or do they feel more so picked at random? Pick a number and change it to that for 2 weeks or maybe a month and see how it goes. The advice that I gave to my client was, if in 1 week 0 or 1 people buy, change it back to 800, because then it's the same and you're just losing that $23. I said if it's 2 plus, obviously you're gonna wanna keep it because you're getting more volume, even though it's a bit smaller of a price. So test it for a week or 2 or 4 and see what the changes net you. And you can always go back, but it's definitely worth trying to see where the changes might lead you. For me personally, I love round numbers. I love how fair it seems to just have something that is super, super dialed in. So that's the strategy that I have personally for my offer in Earn with Skool. $50 per month, and you'll get direct access to get help from me, or $500 a year, and you save $100 having the annual pass. So if you'd like to come and chat about your offer, your pricing, maybe some strategy changes that you might want to implement, I'll see you in the community.